Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Hello, everyone, and welcome to This is Football. Welcome to our second review, ladies and gentlemen. We started with Arsenal Football Club. We're staying in London with this one. We haven't moved up north. We haven't done any of that. We're staying in the same exact city. And we're going to go to Chelsea Football Club, ladies and gentlemen. Today, we've got the Chelsea review show. We're going to be talking about, of course, as we done earlier with the Arsenal review, we're talking about the transfers. We're talking about their direction headed forward. We're talking about, the results on the football pitch. I mean, Chelsea did have an easy start to the season, but they did end up losing to West Ham and Forest. So, the start wasn't as expected, if you would like, given the schedule. So there's a lot for us to discuss today. So whether you're watching this right now or on the replay, because I know a whole lot of you guys like to watch the replay, please don't forget to slap the like button. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're ready to do so. Every single person watching us right now or on the replay, please don't forget to hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're ready to do so. Even right now, please like and subscribe. And of course, let me introduce my panelists. As you guys see in the thumbnail, man said, wow, Matisse is allowed past his bedtime. Hey, listen, this man, His Royal Highness, has graced us with his presence. It's mad how I have to keep trying to get him on the channel. It's like I feel like I'm trying to buy a Lamborghini or something. It's just so hard to get him on the channel. But he's here. He's actually made time for us, which is surprising. But I'm happy to announce that the guy joining us, of course, on the Chelsea review is none other than the man himself. Man like Matisse is here. How are you doing, Matisse, man?
Never. It's never gonna be easy with you with these intros, is it? Is it? This guy's saying it's difficult to get me on the channel. People, this guy doesn't do streams before 1 p.m. Before 1 p.m. But today, with Lee Gunner, he did a stream at 1 p.m. When I ask you, can we do something easier on the UK side? You can't do it. I bend over backwards to do 11 p.m. every time for you, but I'm difficult. What about you? You're difficult. Oh, I got to go gym, Habibi. I gotta go gym, blood. But when I want to go sleep, I'm here awake right now. So what's that all about? What now?
11 p.m. Who sleeps at 11 p.m.? It's at 11 p.m.
Who sleeps at 11 a.m.?
I mean,
Jordanian time difference.
Yeah, I'm asleep. So what? Like it's not that deep.
I could be asleep.
Listen, if you're saying you could be asleep, then the game's the game. If you want, I could do this Chelsea review by myself. I don't care. You think I could do this Chelsea review by myself? You took two of my players anyway.
I'm always bending over backwards. You bend over back. Actually, no, that's pause. Don't do that. Don't do that.
I hate you so much.
Yo, I didn't mean to do that.
How have we bottled it, man? Oh my god! You know what? I stopped myself, but I couldn't because you're saying so much facts there.
Yeah, I fucked up. I can't lie, I fucked up, man.
Oh my god!
I tried my best to argue with you, but
I think I had a moment there where I could have like ran with it, but. Yeah. It just didn't work. Yeah. How have we bottled?
You let it go on too long. I started waffling, and the next thing you know,
you did.
Here we are.
You did.
Yeah.
So how are you? You good? Bend over backwards thing. Guys, we were supposed to fight. Basically, we wanted to prank you guys and act like we fought. I had all the visuals ready as well. I was ready.
Got him. Got him. This guy had the whole thing set, mad.
I had the whole thing set. I was like, let us prank our audience that we actually had a fight and shit. But we bottled it. You guys. Hey, game's the game, man. Game's the game. Big up to Kyriakos. Big up to you, who says my two favorite football content creators. Big up from NYC. By the way, I just want to publicly say something. That intro was supposed to be. That's not how I feel. Everyone knows how much I love Matisse. That intro was just supposed to be as a part of the fight that we bottled because
I must say it was teed up nicely. It was teed up very, very nicely.
I did. Yeah, I actually did. I did a good job with the intro as well. Tried to be as much of an asshole as possible, but still didn't work out, man. But big up to you, Kyriakos. listen, Matisse is one of the realest out there. That's just the reality. And he knows the reason why I couldn't do early streams is just the transfer window, man. It's just man was out here.
And
I was
Thompson as
awake. I still remember till this day that Caicedo day. And Matisse, I think, remembers it himself. Bro, like, I don't want you to get into details and stuff because we'd save that for the show. But bro, I was up at 3 a.m. like UK time playing Tupac, hit him up to 600 Chelsea fans. That's why you
What, on stream or on,
no
on Space?
On Spaces,
you get
on Spaces.
Copyright, yeah.
Yeah, on Spaces,
bro. That was
very
draining, man. That was very draining. I'm glad the window's closed because it was too much. I think the window was longer than usual as well because it started earlier. I don't know, but it felt long. It felt draining. So I'm glad it's shut, man. I just want to focus on the football. Transfers don't equal points, so
can't lie to you, man. Focusing on the football is something that's a little bit difficult, you know, for both our clubs, I think, to an extent. For your club, a bit more than me, but for me, it's a bit more difficult with what's, you know, how we just feel like everything's missed. Something always is missing and stuff. But listen, it is what it is. The game's the game, man. We will see what happens. We'll see how all of them will start saying what Husam said in May and December anyway. Big up to you guys. Big up to you, Kyriakos. Thank you so much for the super chat. All the people who have shown us all the love and support, we keep shouting you out, man. You guys are absolutely elite. Make sure all liking the video. Make sure all subscribing. 300 people in here already. We ain't even started yet. We want to get to 800, 900, 1K live people watching us. So please do like and subscribe. And I reiterate what I said about Matisse at the start, guys. It was supposed to be part of a prank that we bottled. We wanted to prank you guys.
Almost got there.
Yeah, we almost got there. I had a moment there. I should have just ran with it. But, you know, Matisse is someone I love. And of course, Tom, we're here. Up the hammers. But that's not where we're starting. We're starting where Matisse gets W's, which is the transfer window. Because we're kind of reviewing the whole thing so far. And I am wearing actually the Batman hat. Because I actually realized hats are good because you can wear them also when your hair is a mess. You don't need to just wear them when you're bald. And I looked at my hair in the mirror. I'm like, nope, I ain't about to represent myself like this in front of thousands of people. So let me put on this hat real quick. So in case you guys are unaware, let me remind you of the important transfers, because I think even Matisse would agree. It's unfair for me to just list every single out and in because we'd be here till tomorrow. So Caicedo, Nkunku, Palmer, Disasi, Jackson, and of course the one that hurt, Lavia. The outs: Mount, Havertz, Kovacic, Lukaku, Koulibaly, Loftus-Cheek, Mendy, and others. So Matisse, just from a transfer window perspective, how do you feel about the transfer window overall?
Very good, man. Before the window opened, there was a lot of sound bites. There was a lot of PR about, you know, clear out. We're gonna trim the squad. We're going to get rid of a lot of players. There's going to be an exodus. And you know better than me that when that type of reporting and those feelers come out, it's more, I'll see it, then I'll believe it, because everybody can talk the talk, but then when the window opens, you got to walk the walk. And I remember doing an episode of All You Can Eat Chelsea, and I was just about to go away. I can't remember where I was going. It may have been some sort of trip with Big Six or something, but I think it was New York. And then we were coming back, and I was like, by the time I come back, I need to see certain amount of outgoings, because the list that you've just compiled there of outgoings is a lot. We had a massive squad. We had to trim that. Then we had some players coming back from loan, Ampadu, Hudson-Odoi. We had to trim that. So it was just an unheard of amount of outgoings. And that's why there's a record amount of income for a club in any window ever, which is what, 270 million or something. So from that side of things, I think they've done brilliantly. There's not the only player I think that's on that list of outgoings that I regret is Lewis Hall. I think Lewis Hall's the one where I would have preferred to keep him. I rate him. I think for his age, he's very talented. I think he could even start for us now based on ability and what he's done for us already. So I think that one's the one I regret, and that's the one I wish we could take back. All the other exits, Koulibaly, Lukaku, Mount, Havertz, all these guys, Kante, Kova, both injury prone. I was saying it for a while, especially with Kante. None of those are regrets. All happy with that. And then on the incomings, it's mixed. I think some of them we'll see if they were necessary, like a Disasi. Was that a necessary move? when Trevor Chalobah's still here. Someone like a Jackson, I think, is a great piece of scouting, and we've found someone that's very, very much what I want from a striker to be. Just needs to get the goals, but I think they'll come. And then there's some big outlays and there's some jaw droppers that you mentioned, like the Enzos and the Lavias, which is, you know, I think we've put together a brilliant midfield. And I don't think we should have to touch that midfield again for, you know, 4 or 5 years minimum, you know, if those guys reach the potential they should reach. So, and then there's some sideways moves like Sanchez in goal, where I'm like, we'll see. But I'm not particularly ecstatic about that one. So, yeah, I think overall the window, I have to give it a minimum 8, bro. So the amount of work that they've done in such a, it's not a short space of time, but
how is so spoiled? You can't give it to 10. Why don't you give it to 10?
I can't give it a 10 because I do think that we've overdone it on the whole youth thing. Don't get me wrong, I'm here for bringing in under 23, under 24s that are top quality. But I do think there could have been a couple positions where we could have said, you know what, let's go and get a Maddison, or let's go and get a top experienced player instead of just the goalkeeper. So for me, it was the goalkeeper where I wanted a world-class keeper. And then if we're bringing in this extra kind of attacking signing, I would have gone for an older player than Palmer. But that's the only reason why I've got it only maybe at 8 and not a 10. I think in terms of the amount of outgoings.
How are you saying 6 Magic Ziyech? 6?
I mean,
are you mad? You guys signed so many talented players as well.
They're saying, I think a lot of people will call it a 6 because it's a lot of projections and it's not a lot of instant impact. There's not a lot of instant gratification from the signings in terms of results because they're all long-term signings. And that's why I say there needed to be a small blend. You can go mostly with the young players, but I think there needed to be a couple of reliable, you know what you're going to get type guys. But you can't give it a 6 with the amount of outgoings because for me, that takes an awful lot of work. And it's unprecedented. No one has done that many outgoings in one window before. So for me, they've cut the wage bill down drastically. They've got rid of players that needed to get got rid of. The squad is a little bit still too much, but it's nowhere near what it was last season. I'd say we're probably a couple.
Can I give you my genuine argument? Argument, because you just said it. Why the Chelsea window is a 10? How you sold is why it's a 10.
That's why
the way you sold. Your outgoings for me is what makes the Chelsea window unbelievable. It's not even the players that they bought in so much. It's generally the outgoings because even with the Saudi thing, they did recoup a whole lot of money. And look, this is not a trolling thing. This is me being dead serious. The fact that they got 65 million for Havertz, 60 million for Mount, regardless of like how high or low you rate them, in general, that's a lot of money to get for both of them. Yeah. When you look at the way that Chelsea sold for me, that's what gives me like, you've got to just stand back and go like, well done, because you sold very smartly and for good money too.
I do think those some of the players we brought in potentially, I wouldn't be surprised if 2 years down the line, we're looking at them like, maybe we need to get rid of that one. And that for me, because there's a couple potential errors in there that I think with the goalkeeper, I'm not convinced he's a number one. But maybe with his wages and his fee is not a necessary issue to be number 2. With Disasi, we'll see. But again, he'll have to do quite a lot to prove worth bringing in. And the left-back situation, because Cucurella is looking so on his way out, agreed personal terms with United, fell through, still here, but probably down the track he's going to go. It's very rare that someone agrees personal terms with another club, is on his way out, and then miraculously turns it around, unless you're like a Granit Xhaka or, I don't know, a David Gea faction breaks. But mainly, if you're on the out, you're on the out. And it's just, we've kicked the can down the road. But in selling Lewis Hall and Matson not yet agreed the new contract, I have a feeling that you got 2 young players in that zone of the pitch, in that area of the pitch, and you're going to get rid of them to replace Cucurella down the line with someone expensive when you have the option there for free. So I don't want to overdo it because there is a lot of untapped potential in the team and they have to perform to make it a 10. Yeah. Like if they don't perform now on all of this promise, then it's not a 10 because we've just tried to bring in all these young players and then next thing you know, we don't know what we're doing with them or we haven't developed them and integrated them because Andre Santos, Leslie Okochoku, Washington, all these young players that have come in Angelo, they've all gone on loans to like Nottingham Forest, Strasbourg. If they have good loans, again, that helps this be a 10. If they have shit loans, then we didn't plan the integration, we haven't developed them, and we're being stupid. So there's a lot of foresight in that one, I think, for the incomings.
Okay, fair enough. Big up to Husay, who says, by the way, guys, rate the Chelsea transfer window out of 10. And guys, you know how we do it on this football. Don't you write me paragraphs on your life story. I want a number from 0 to 10. Give me a number. I used to call my 13-year-old sister spoiled. Turns out all Chelsea fans are 13-year-old girls. May God give me strength. Big up, boys. You know what it is? Qusay is a Liverpool fan like myself. If you give me that Chelsea transfer window, I am FSG in. Like, I would scream. I would back the like. I would jump.
You see me coming into this window, I was of the opposite of where I only wanted to see about 3 or 4 players come in. So for me, sometimes less is more. And it's
this is the rich people problems. This is the rich
people
problems.
I know it is. I know, but
you're like the butler didn't bring me cheese on my sandwich. Like, how am I supposed to relate?
I know, but you know, spending is only half the job. You know, if you can invest and be ambitious and spend, cool. But if you don't win anything, bro, I'm gonna be sitting here just as depressed as I was last season. It's no good spending all this money or bringing all these players, getting all these endorphins, and then finishing 8th. Do you know what I mean? That's not on. So sometimes less is more. And my thing for the window was get everybody out. They did that. Bring in the spine, goalkeeper, midfielder, or 2 midfielders and a forward. They've done a lot more than that. They've brought in a lot more than that. Is it gonna pay off? We'll see. But we've been bit by this before, where we brought in too many players at once, too many players to integrate at once. We fuck up and we finish in 12th. So we need to be careful with the amount of signings.
Hey, you're 12th again anyway. So
exactly. But hopefully this is not where we finish.
Big up to Kyriakos, who says 10 on outgoings and 6-7 on incomes, equally 8 overall. I hear you. To be fair, Kyriakos. And look, you guys know your club more than I do. I'm here to ask questions and get involved when I deem necessary. So this is what I'm here for. But I hear you, my bro. Honestly, I really do. Because for me, I'm looking at that outgoings and I'm like, you just got to stand up and clap for Chelsea because they're selling really well. And a part of the thing Liverpool did as well when we were successful, which we sold really well, Brewster, 24 million. Solanke, almost 30 million. Jordan Ivey, 20 million. We that's 70 million right there. That right there, it's 70 million worth of trash that somehow, in an alternative universe, no exaggeration, you're getting 20 for all 3 of them combined. So selling well is very important. By the way, we see this with Arsenal. Arsenal don't sell well. That's one of their problems, for example. They sold Holding for $1.5 million. If you gave that Holding to Chelsea or to Liverpool, you're going to get 10, 15 M's with ease because it's a Premier League proven defender. So, you know, it's just selling is quite important. Big up to Husam, says Husam equal Will Smith, Matisse equal Carlton, the Fresh Prince. I can't lie, do you look like the Fresh Prince? You guys need to understand.
No, I definitely don't.
There's a massive cultural difference over here that I am actually an Arab man. So I don't even know. I've never even watched this Fresh Prince, by the way.
Do you look like Will Smith? Probably not.
Not after he slapped Chris Rock.
No, I don't.
Nah, he don't look like the Fresh Prince.
I don't think so personally.
Yeah, he don't. He does. I'd love to actually troll him and say it. I'd actually love to feel you, but I can't.
Out of all the nicknames I've got, that's I think one of the furthest away from the truth. There's a lot of other nicknames I have that are a lot closer to what I look like. To be fair.
Fair. Big up to Qusay, says They'll kalb awaj, can't fix a plastic club. That's an Arabic saying right there that I promise you, if you had a master's degree in languages, you cannot translate. It's one of them sayings that just cannot be translated. And if anyone here speaks Arabic or Mandarin or Japanese or one of the actual tough languages, like, you would understand there are certain things you just can't translate. That's the thing. And Qusay, I love you, bro, but I just can't translate that. كيف بدي أترجم لهم ذيل الكلب أعوج؟ تفضل. كيف بدي أترجم لهم? The dog's tail is spinning. It's just I cannot translate it, you know. There's a question I do want to ask you though about the transfer window before we just get to the football. Speaking of selling, there was a report by The Athletic, I believe, that if you get 50% of your transfers correct, you're a successful football club from the transfer perspective. So now we also, Matisse, as you said, it needs to work out. So I need to ask you realistic questions, realistic scenarios. In the realistic world, in which 3 or 4 of these players on death row contracts don't work out, how do you get rid of them? How do you sell them? Because me and you both know if there's 5 years left on the contract, then someone's going to pay out that money. So whether if it's you paying out, then it messes you up from an FFP perspective. If it's them paying out, then they're not interested. Because I give you a real example, right? No banter, nothing. With Mudryk, let's say 2 years from now, he's still not working out. Chelsea want to move on. They want to sell him, whatever. Who's going to buy a 5-year contract out of Mudryk? How do you kind of bypass that whole situation?
It all depends on how the players performed. If the players absolutely tanked it, then like with anyone, it's going to be very difficult. Similar with the Sancho situation, at Man United, who's going to buy him on? The difference is though, is that the wages that he's on, say Sancho versus Mudryk, is in complete parallel. Like I think Mudryk is probably on about 100, maybe 90, which is affordable for the top 3 or 4, 5% of clubs in the world. In terms of your big clubs.
But you're talking about amount of time though. Multiply that by 5 years.
Yeah, but for me, that just means from a negotiating standpoint where it depends on the performance, because if 5 years left doesn't really mean much if the player is still wanted by other clubs. If the player's absolutely tanked it and nobody wants him, then it's a problem. But if he's performed okay and we're just not working out, but there's still interest from other clubs, people will come in. I don't think it's not that anytime someone's running out of contract, that's the only time clubs purchase. They don't wait all the time for you have to be running out 1 year left, 2 years left. They will buy you still if there's 4 years left, if they want you. It just means that we're, potentially might mean that we can get more, but again, it all depends on the performance. When the contract's running out, I think it just alerts everybody in the footballing world a lot more, because it's like, there's an opportunity here. But the plan can't be for the player to tank, because you can't spend 62 to rise into 88 on Mudryk and then him be worth a £30 million player in 2 years' time. That's just can't be the plan. So you could easily make a loss, and that's why if you're going to buy these young players, they almost have to be either certified and you're very, very sure of their talent, like an Enzo and a Caicedo, or they need to be really cheap and you're buying on promise. If you go for that middle 50 to 60 pound range, like your Mounts and your Havertzes, and it doesn't work out, you're not making a profit. You're probably not breaking even. And I mean, those guys are on big wages, luckily ours aren't, but you're probably going to make a loss. So for me, you gotta be very sure if you're paying a lot, and they got to be borderline world class, or you got to be going for someone that people don't know. But that's why Mudryk is price tag, and that's why Cole Palmer's price tag. These guys, it's a little bit sticky because they kind of have to deliver. They have to deliver. They don't do have to deliver. Whereas someone like Washington can flop and nobody will know the difference because he only costs like 10 mil or whatever it was.
100%. 100%. Yeah. Listen, I think when it comes time to sell in 3-4 years from now, when some of these guys aren't successful, or a Madrid or Chelsea come calling, because I was speaking to one of the guys earlier on in the space, and I'm like, I'm under no delusion or like crazy thought that I know if there's any man who grew up in the continent of South America and he became a footballer, he has one dream. One day wearing Barca shirt or one day wearing Madrid shirt. There's no need to lie to ourselves. Whether it be Chelsea, whether it be Liverpool, whether it be Man United, Man City, in their mind, that's genuinely their lifelong dream. So, like, I can even use my club as an example. I'm not under no illusion that if, for example, this summer, someone, Madrid or Barca, come calling for Luis Diaz, he's on his way. Like he would want to make that move because it's like a dream signing for them. Which is like, it's just the ultimate reality, you guys. So maybe 2-3 years from now, they've got to worry about that with Caicedo and Enzo. Not now, but we will see. They have to get their levels to Madrid levels anyway before.
Exactly. And those clubs have to pay big because those guys are also on really long contracts. So that's where it can work in your advantage, is where even in 3-4 years, Chelsea will be under no pressure to sell Caicedo or Enzo, even if those clubs come in. They're going to have to pay more than what we paid, which is a lot. But with
See how I
inflation,
painted the positive and the negative scenario?
exactly,
See?
100%.
See?
Of course,
This is me when I'm not trying to annoy
to-
Flawless.
today it's too late for that. Today we're here for real talk. You know what I'm saying? It's too late for that.
If Flawless was here, I'd have different energy.
but with inflation, you just don't know where football's going, bro. You don't know what prices are going to be next. Like Chelsea might be thinking, based upon prices over the last 5 years soaring, that in the next 5 years, when these players are all in their prime, that they would have got them all for discounts, because maybe 100 million is moving closer to being the new 50 million. It probably is, right? Look how much Anthony costs. You know what I mean? Mudryk, it's becoming the new 50. And then next thing you
Man
know,
United have really messed up the market for us. They really have.
We might start in 3-4 years' time, we might start hearing 150 million prices more. I know it sounds crazy right now, but 100 million used to shock people. 100 million used to be like, whoa. Now it could be 150 to 160, 70. Like in 5 years, we might just hear that price on a regular. So what's to say we won't? And then suddenly now it's a different ball game. So it's crazy, man.
You know what's mad? This is the final thing I want to say on transfers, so we move on. Today I was kind of checking, like, because I just went back to the whole Gerrard to Chelsea thing, and I read an article from 2005, and it was like, I think it was Chelsea prepared to make 38 million record bid. I was like, if I could go back in time in a time machine and tell them that in 2023 some of the most mid players in the world are going for 38 million, they would call Liverpool and offer 50 for Stevie. I promise you, they would actually offer 50, because you look at some of these, like 38 million world record fee. 38 million now, like, gets you what does 38 million now even get you? It gets you like 2 endos, basically. That's what it gets you. So, hey, it's a madness. Big up to Karim, who sent in 2 super chats. I assume you're using Google Translate, like Matisse used earlier on when he wanted to say Lil Bro, and it translated to Al-Akh Al-Asghar, which is mad Google translation. And then he got it right. Big up to you, Karim, man. Thank you for the super chat. He says, Assalamu alaikum. Wa alaikum assalam, habibi. Hey, with the Saudi League, y'all better start learning Arabic, my lovely people. It's the language is coming. Also, Saudi, call me, man. If you need Husam Talks Saudi League extra channel,
you got to start doing content on it first, bro. People are starting already. I haven't started, but some people have started doing content on it already.
Ligano told me today, he's like, he's covering Saudi League. I'm like, you know what? That's a smart idea. Might need to cop some of these streams. The problem with Chelsea is its owner spending crazy money with less ball knowledge. I saw so many people talking about, you want to get Michael Edwards, you want to get a serious sporting director. Do you agree with that approach?
Now, probably not. I mean, listen, I really like Edwards. I think he's quality. His work speaks for itself at Liverpool. But there is a thing as having too many cooks in the kitchen. And we have Lawrence Stewart, we have Paul Winstanley, we have Joe Shields just beneath them, who's been very influential this window. And I don't really know what more we need, like in terms of how many people need to be talking. Do you know what I mean? Like, all it does is tend to drag out deals, create more disagreements, more debate. And I don't mind a little bit of debate, because of course it leads to pros, cons, negatives. Some people might see something in a player that others won't. Some people might see a character trait that others won't. And that will lead to us getting better decisions. But at the same time, we are working under a time restraint. So we don't need 6-7 chiefs who's elite in their position, all disagreeing on a transfer. We already lost Christopher Vell, who was, I'm sure, very good at his job, but he just didn't get the power, and none of them agreed with what he wanted to do going forward, because his kind of methods and his experience from the Red Bull group model is completely different to maybe the Brighton and the Monaco and all these other models that these other guys are from. So in the end, they just all disagreed, and you can't do your job effectively if you don't agree with the decisions going forward. You're going to just end up having egg on your face. So he ended up leaving. So I don't really feel like there's any need to add any more. They seem to be working well together. They seem to all be going in the same direction. If these players work out, then they've done brilliant jobs. If these players don't, then they're under scrutiny. So there's not really any need. And I don't really feel like Edwards really wants to come to us anyway at this moment. Like he said,
you give Edwards Chelsea money, you start winning quadruples. I'm gonna just say it as it is, because that man is insane. Matisse would be sat here doing like researching players he's never heard of for 20 M's that would just change your life. Let me tell you right now. Chelsea in the mud, Chelsea's in the mud. Oh, we're gonna get to that part. That's the best part right there. Big up to Qusay said watching Caicedo flopping is such a turn on. Damn, man said turn on. Okay, easy there, Qusay. Easy there, brother. Turn on. Hey, the game's the game. I don't have an Arabic keyboard, that's why. Hey, listen, no problem. You know what? I'm gonna believe you. I'm gonna believe that you actually know how to write Assalamu alaikum in Arabic. No problem. I'm gonna believe you. No problem. Big up to you. Matisse, can you have Kai back because I like you.
This brings joy to me, I must say. This brings great joy to me. No, you can't. There's no refunds. There's no refunds.
Did you watch the Arsenal United game?
Of course, bro. Of course. I saw it and he was invisible.
Bro,
he was absolutely invisible.
The air, like,
the shot was nasty, bro. The shot was absolutely nasty. The ball came over to him, bro, and he kicked it like as if he had, you know, when you have those toddlers that you're teaching how to walk and then you put the ball in front of them and they give it a little kick. That's the way he fluffed his lines like that. I watched the game. He was invisible, bro. He was a ghost. Everybody else was trying to engineer attacks and link up and combine. And no one played well, I don't think, in that game for Arsenal. Like, no one stood out, but they were all giving it their best. You know, Man United set themselves up quite well. It was a tough game. They got through in the end. But Havertz did nothing. Like, genuinely did nothing.
And this is going to make you even smile even more. I'll pay for your season ticket if you take Mount. It's like they both want refunds. I don't think there's a refund policy at Chelsea Football Club. I'll be sorry with you. Ain't no refunds, brother.
Do you know what? Yeah. I'm so glad that we don't have to deal with this anymore. Like, these guys created such friction, such polarizing players. And I've got a new midfield now. I don't need these guys. I've got Enzo, I've got Caicedo, I've got Lavia. We haven't even seen him make his debut yet. We've got Andre Santos. Hopefully he has a good loan. We got a lot of talent. I don't care. I'm just interested in my guys now. You can keep that. You can keep that. Good luck.
Basically.
Good luck, man.
Yeah. I know Sam Matisse looks like, what's that? Steve Urkel, not Carlton?
Yeah, that's the other nickname.
Let me Google Steve Urkel quickly because I want to see.
That's the other nickname.
Oh my God.
Closer?
Oh my God.
Closer.
He's saying you look like this guy. Oh my.
That's a nickname that's been going on for a while, bro.
Allow it. Ain't no way. That's such a big violation, yo. I know how to violate you next time we work together.
No.
Oh, this is gonna be beautiful. This is gonna be absolutely beautiful.
You have to come up with your own. You can't steal that. I think Expressions actually came up with that one. I can't remember who came up with that one, but it's not you.
Steve Urkel.
So you can't use that. Yeah.
Who says who? I can't use that. Did Expressions copyright it? Last I checked.
Are you an original? Are you an original content creator or are you a copycat content creator? Which one?
Why are you disrespecting my legacy? Big up to Chelsea 101. It says 1 year, 4 managers, 20 players out, 20 players in. Todd Bowley, Clear Lake are ruining the club. Why is no one can see it? لا إله إلا الله من هذا الفريق. Which means, like, God help me with this team.
Yeah, it's been a messy start. Very messy. But that is not something I expect to continue over the next few years. If that does continue, then we have a big problem. But for them to do that all in 1 year, it's disappointing, obviously, but it's not a shock that they come in and they got their elbows out, they got excited, and they basically played Football Manager, and they didn't have people in place to run their transfers, and they made a mess. We can forgive them. Do you know, it's as much as we're used to winning, or I'm used to winning, at the same time, this is football. Do you know what I mean? Like, we have no God-given right to win. The only thing I ask is that we get back to being competitive, looking like we can compete to win. I wasn't around for the days where we were absolutely abysmal, but I know those days existed. So you got to stick with it regardless, you know. But I think they have good intentions. They clearly want to win, I think, and they clearly want to invest, and they clearly want to they signed Denzo, they signed Caicedo. I have to assume that they want to do big things, right? They want to get the new stadium. They want to do all these things at once. They're just a bit excited. And I think now they've calmed down a little bit by at least taking themselves away from the roles. But by that last window, they're still a little bit, hectic and very proactive. So yeah, they just need to chill a bit.
Twitter tacticos like Devil in the Details were calling Kai Havertz generational talent and a possible Ballon d'Or winner when he was in Germany. I'm gonna be real with you. Kai Havertz in Germany ain't been the same neither at Chelsea nor at Arsenal nor anywhere. That's just a version of him we haven't seen yet. And to be honest, to be fair to Arsenal and whoever employs Havertz currently, like even in the future, if he can replicate that, then they do have a player on their hands. Big up to another who says, Husam, imagine Chelsea lose the Bournemouth game. That would be crazy. Is Poch going to be under pressure? That's what I ask Matisse about next. So stick around. Big up to you, Nadra. Thanks so much for the super chat. How many loans you giving Lukaku after Roma? I think Matisse probably want to sell after Roma, if I'm not mistaken, right? You probably want to sell.
Yeah, we've been ready to sell for years. Yeah. We're ready. Yeah.
Karim says, Habibi, I don't want a refund for him. I'll pay you. Damn. Karim, you've had enough amount already. You've seen like 3 games of the game. Give him time.
You'd have to pay me a lot of money to bring him back. A lot.
Yeah. Because you need to understand, it brings back the toxicity and all this habit, right? And all this. Matisse, how many points do you want in the next 10 games? Stick around, Murad, because we do want to discuss that. But before we discuss that, let's discuss the first 4. We will go to the football side of things now. Enough on transfers. Before I do that, there's almost 700 people in the building. This has been an unbelievable stream, despite Matisse yawning. Make sure you're liking the video. Make sure you're subscribing. Everyone right now, please do like the video. Please do subscribe to the channel. Did I not tell you to do an early show and you said let's do night better? Be honest, or in front of the people.
Yeah, that's because I was busy during the day. But I'm just accommodating as much as possible. Even if I'm tired,
you really are. You really are. You definitely are a real one. So make sure you guys are liking. Make sure you guys are subscribing to the channel, guys. Matisse is up late for us, and we're doing a Chelsea stream, and we've got more reviews coming up. Just hit the damn like button. It helps the algorithm out, especially during this transfer window and during this international break. And by the way, let me just say something. Tomorrow, inshallah, Jordan is playing Norway. If we stop Haaland from scoring, I'm going to ruin everyone's life. I'm telling you right now.
Are you going to do Oslo?
No, I can't. Because if we lose 4-0, it's going to be embarrassing. I cannot. But imagine losing 4-0. I cannot do it.
You should do them, man. You should do them. I'd like to see them.
No, I'm good. Salah, here we go to Saudi Arabia or not. Bro, you know what it is? By the way, we'll actually get our answer today, literally at 12 p.m. Not even 12 p.m., 10 a.m. UK time, because it's 12 in Saudi, it closes. Khalas. I think all the reports are saying he's basically staying, so we just give up on that whole Salah thing. So as I said, make sure you're all liking, make sure you're subscribing right now, and let's just get to the football side of things. So basically, I feel like there's basically 2 sides of the football pitch you want to talk about, because I feel like West Ham and Nottingham Forest are on one side, the Liverpool and the Luton game are on one side. With the Liverpool game, I and Matisse before the game, I was like, you know what it is? If we draw again, I refuse to hype up a Liverpool-Chelsea game again. And I genuinely will be a man of my word. Inshallah, next time, Liverpool-Chelsea at Anfield, I promise you I'm not going to hype it up. I'm genuinely not even going to hype it up, not one bit, because I've never been more disappointed in my whole life. How do you bring 2 new teams together and it's the same result? And with the Luton Town, what is the polar bear doing in Arlington, Texas? You ended up winning 3-0. So just talk to me about these 2 games in isolation before we go to the shit show side of things.
I think for me, the 2 games against Liverpool, Luton, I have to take the positives from Liverpool in particular, because obviously that's the highest quality opposition we're facing. The Luton game, I can't get ahead of myself. I've watched Luton twice now, once against us, once against West Ham. And Brighton as well. They're awful. They're definitely getting relegated. Like, they are getting relegated. Everybody knows it. It's just how many points. How
are they going to get less than Derby County?
Bro,
are they?
Listen, it could happen. Like, Derby County were horrendous. Like, they were getting slapped up by Aston Villa at home. Petrov was scoring from the halfway line. Like, it was bad. They were getting destroyed every week. And it will be very impressive for another team to do that. But with what Luton have, with their resources, it could happen, man. That they're really not very good. So for me, the Luton game and the Liverpool game, I think Liverpool, I'm more impressed because Liverpool, I think in the second half, we deserved to win the game. We were bopping it. And that was with a depleted team in terms of the midfield wasn't there yet. Neither was yours. And there was a few injuries as well for both teams. But in terms of Luton, there was large spells of that game where we didn't play great. And it, in the first half, and then second half, we kicked it up and we started banging in the goals. But it was a bit of a tiresome evening. It wasn't like 3-0. It was all easy every minute. It was a long evening and it was like pulling teeth out. But I think the main positives, bro, is Sterling. You have to say from where he was in pre-season to what he's been giving us now, especially when he's found early by Enzo, which he wasn't in the last game. It was a little bit slow and draining the passing at the back. Sterling's kicked up. He's kicked up massively on that right-hand side. And it's polar opposite to what he's doing on the left. So he's the big positive I'm looking at from these games in particular. And then the fact that, yes, Jackson and the fact that we are creating chances, we are just not taking them, which is basically the same as always. But I feel like the finishing will get better once we actually add an extra attacker into the team and start fully fleshing out these chances. And I think Nkunku's a big loss, man, but we have to ride out we have to roll on with
When is he back? Because I swear he's not out for as long as many people think.
He's not back until Christmas, from what I'm aware of. But you have to make do without him. You have to hope that Palmer and one of Mudryk or Madueke can contribute.
Madueke is so overrated. He's actually so overrated. I generally think.
I don't think he's overrated because I don't think he's highly rated. I don't think he's overgassed.
He's so mid. He's generally mid.
I don't think he's gassed, so I don't think he can be overrated.
He's mid. I generally think he's mid. And I think Chalobah is underrated. If I'm doing underrated in your team, I think he's very underrated. I think he's a very solid defender. And I think he's better than Disasi as well, but that's a different topic for a different day. So now we have to move on to the shit show side of things, and that's the heavier meal. Because let's be honest, you spend 1 billion, you're expected to beat Luton Town at home. Like, let's not sit up here and lie. If we don't beat, if Liverpool this season, actually, I don't even want to put anything on the line after last season. I learned my lesson. If Liverpool lose or draw to Luton Town, it's going to be the most embarrassing result in history. Come on, Husam, stream it. Don't chicken out, brother. What do you mean, don't chicken out, brother? You want to stream Jordan versus Norway? I'm good, bro. I'm good. Okay, Husam, Kai fluffs his line like he fluffs being a footballer. Chelsea robbed Arsenal like Robin Hood stole from the king. Chelsea definitely robbed Arsenal, and I was so emotionally invested in that game. I tweeted out, Havertz, you donkey, because I'm the enemy of my enemy is my friend.
You really want Arsenal to win the league, don't you? If it's not you.
No, it's because they're playing Man United.
Yeah, I know, but in general as well, you do seem to want Arsenal to do well.
Over City, hell yeah, if to win the league. 100%. I'd support your club against City to win the league. 100%.
I know, yeah. Which is crazy.
I wouldn't support them as passionately, but I would want them to win.
I'm surprised at that. I'm surprised.
Bro, my club got a 3-peat. United got a 3-peat. Arsenal got a 3-peat. I'll be damned if City get a 4-peat. That's just wrong. That just end football. And they overtake you on trophies anyway. So yeah, big up to you.
I think they may have already overtaken us on leagues. They have anyway. So there's nobody in that top 6 that I'm rooting for over ourselves, and if it's not us, it has to be one of the Oil Brothers, City or Newcastle, because it ain't going to be one of you lot. I can't lie, it can't be.
I don't know if I can read the super chat out or not, or if it's like that insulting.
I don't really get where he's coming from, but he's just commenting on. He's just making a judgment, I guess, how he looks. But no, I don't really get that.
Thank you, Waves. Yeah, that's it. I already have half the world trying to cancel me anyway, so let's not go there. So now, speaking of getting cancelled, West Ham.
Yeah.
West Ham 3, Chelsea 1. And of course, the latest game. Actually, forget the latest game because I do want to talk to you about that because I did a watch along for it as well. So I've fully watched it. The West Ham game I didn't watch. So let's talk about the West Ham game first. West Ham, Caicedo, brilliant debut, penalty given. Enzo misses the penalty as well. What else happened in that game? Someone got sent off, no?
Who was sent off in that game? Was someone sent off in that game? Well, Caicedo. Caicedo was sent off. Yeah.
No, Caicedo wasn't sent off.
Sorry, not Caicedo. Who was sent off? Was somebody sent off?
Yes, someone was.
Oh yeah, for West Ham. For West Ham, someone was sent
Oh
off.
yeah, you couldn't beat
That's what
10
made
man
it
West
even
Ham.
more
That was the
embarrassing.
joke.
Yeah, that's
I was
what
thinking
made
of the
it. I
joke.
was trying to think of a Chelsea player, but no, nobody was sent off for us. It was Aguerd.
So that West Ham result, infamously, Matisse,
Why do
because
you
I'm a
have
colleague, because it's West Ham, big up. Because I'm a colleague, not a fan, like Flawless says. With all due respect, when you share a screen with someone, you cannot be a fan, because that's just weird. Like, how am I a fan of Matisse and I'm working with Matisse? How can that be possible? Like, Flawless.
That's between you
Yeah,
and Flawless.
Flawless. Like, sometimes, man, you need to choose your words properly. He said he's a fan of me, though. I think that is more accurate. So here's the thing. so, so here's the thing with West Ham. No, not even with West Ham. Oh yeah, with Matisse's stream when I was watching it, he's like, I will phrase him properly because on this review we're trying to be logical. I'm not trying to be shameless or asshole or some. So basically, he said that Chelsea should expect to get 21 out of 21. It started with 0 from 3 away at West Ham.
Yeah.
Talk to the people.
I don't disagree with saying that because I mean, were we ever going to get 21 out of 21? Highly unlikely. But that's what I aspire for as a fan. I think someone asked earlier, do I want 30 from the next 30? Of course I do. Like, what do I want? I want to win every game. And there's a few games where I'll look at them and say, I'll take a point, right? The Etihad, I'll take a point. I still haven't come to terms of taking a point even at Arsenal, you know? At Liverpool, you take a point. But but I'm not. I haven't. It will maybe take me 5-6 more years of this for me to, dim down those kind of not expectations, I guess you could say, but that kind of what you want as a fan, what you look forward to. I'm still gonna say we should win every game. I'm still gonna think, why can't we win every game? Even though I know it's gonna be difficult. That's where my head is at. I'm always trying to win every game. So I looked at the fixtures. I saw teams, every single team in that running, we should be finishing above. So we should beat them. That's how I see it. If I don't think you should finish above us, then I don't think we should not beat you. I know some of those games are difficult. I did my prediction. I think I said 2-1 against Nottingham Forest because I knew Nottingham Forest was going to be a tough game. They played very well against Man United. They drew against us last season. They're physical. They got a plan, but I want us to beat them. Aston Villa, very tough game. West Ham, I said they should never be where they finished last season. They're a Europa League team again. They got Kudus. They got Ward-Prowse. But, and someone said arrogance. It's not arrogance. It's backing your team. If I believe that West Ham, even though they have very good players, Alvarez, Ward-Prowse, Kudus, if I believe that they should beat us, then why did we buy Enzo Caicedo? Why did we buy these players? There's no point buying these players for this much money and believing in them if you don't think you're going to win games. So for me personally, I have to be confident at least at the start of the season. Last season, towards the second half, obviously then life changed. Life catches up to you. I'm not expecting to win shit, but it's 4 games in.
You were fully on that 40 points thing. Like you were actually on
of course, because then I knew that it was over and we are going to be shit for the rest of the season. And I had to sacrifice that. I had to hold that. But
when I saw Andrew Tate as your manager, I'm like, nah, they're just not serious.
But there's no way I'm gonna 4 games in start being negative in terms of, I don't think we can win this. Why would I do that? Like, it just doesn't make any sense. We had a good window, in my opinion. We got very good players. Yeah, it's going to take time to gel. I rate the manager. I wanted the manager. Just have to be confident. Have to be. Because we're not the only club with problems. Every club's got problems. So I don't even like to use that as an excuse too much. Nottingham Forest got just as many players to bed in and build chemistry with, but no one talks about it because they're Nottingham Forest, right? Because maybe they don't get as much attention. But they have a lot of players to integrate, a lot of chemistries and connections. Everybody can make an excuse as to why they can't win a game. But
Yeah, it looks like Elanga's betting in real good. It looks like certain players are betting in real good, but that also comes from them being Premier League proven. Like that's another thing as well. Because Caicedo, for example, let's use the Caicedo example, right?
is
I don't think,
Elanga Premier League proven? I don't think he is. What has he done?
or at
What's he
least
done in the
like
Premier League?
no, but proven to Forest level. Like you need to as well benchmark it to their level.
Yeah, but the Forest level, then playing up against Chelsea shouldn't mean shit, right? If you're Forest level, if you're not Chelsea or Man United level, then you should be losing, right? On 9 times out of 10, because you
Yes,
are
that's true. That's
yeah.
true.
So I don't know, man. It
No, but if
depends.
you're looking at the transfer from their perspective, I'm saying that's Premier League proven. That's why I mentioned Caicedo from your perspective. Caicedo, like, is not going to the Etihad away for the first time, or Anfield away for the first time, or Arsenal away for the first time. Like these are stadiums he's been to. That's what I think Premier League experience brings. That's why, for example, Lavia and Caicedo would be maybe the smarter transfers and stuff like that. Because I think Prem proven. I know what it is. I think some people maybe just not like maybe don't agree, and it's fine. But I
Yeah.
actually believe in this whole Prem proven thing. I really do. I think certain players just it's better for them.
For me, I think my bar for Prem proven is maybe higher. Like, if you're going to be Prem proven, it's because you smashed it in the Prem. Elanga's not smashed it in the Prem. He's not had one season where he smashed it.
Fair.
Jared Bowen at West Ham has smashed it for a season at least. Mitrovic has smashed it. I would say they're Prem proven because they had big seasons in the Prem. If you haven't had a big season in the Prem, there's no guarantee you will have a big season in the Prem. Therefore, you're not Prem proven. Whereas at least if you've got it on document that you've had a big season, then I can say that you could have another one. That's how I see it. So for me, I can't.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. So with the Forest loss, because that one I want to expand on a little bit. You know what it is, West Ham? You're like, okay, we bounce back, stuff like that. You did want bounce back against Luton, but then it's Forest game. Forest at home, Matisse.
Yeah.
Matisse, Forest at home. And you said you believe in the manager, and there's a reason why certain people are still turning. Look, I'm not going to go into the full Poch out extent, but there are people who are like anti-Poch, if you would like. Let me just say it that way. They're just not, they don't like Poch, and they're talking about that whole Chilwell left wing, blah, blah, blah. Just that whole Nottingham Forest game, Matisse. You cannot not beat Forest at home. You just can't. Even if Chilwell played right wing, like you should be able to beat them.
Yeah, no, 100%, bro. There's no excuse. And it's like, like I said, I can always say that there's this player missing, or there's this thing that we don't have right now, and there's this imbalance or this. But most teams have those issues throughout the season. You still have to pick up your points. You still have to adapt. You still have to come up with a solution. You have to think for yourselves as players as well. So we can't not win that game, bro. And yeah, for me, it just comes down to the simple fact of we just had a shocking first half, and then we didn't make the necessary changes to push ourselves in the second, and we had to pay for it. If you go out with that team, that it was cautious, it was defensive, because there's defensive players playing in attacking positions, and I don't like to see that, especially at home, especially when we know we're going to have most of the ball and we're going to have most of the chances, and what we're dealing with is a counter attack.
Do you think questioning the 5 at the back is a fair criticism of Poch? Like, why are we defending with the 3?
Well, we weren't. The thing is, what people get wrong is we weren't playing with a 5. We were playing with a 4. It's just that one of the defenders was in attack, and they were actually an attacker. It's not he was getting forward and then coming back. He was a left winger, and he's spoken on TalkSport today to say that this is a new position that I was getting used to. I don't want to see him in that position, so I hope he doesn't get used to it, because I want to see him back at left back. Because I'm not trying to see us spend 150 million odd on wingers, and then we don't play with the wingers. We play with a left back at left wing who can't take people on, who can't dribble, who can't cross to an elite level like Reece James. And yes, he can strike a ball, but he's not exactly a goal machine. So for me, I ain't trying to see it. But we played with a 4. I don't really care. I'm not one of these people that have we have to play this formation. It's how you play it. Sometimes he plays with a 3, but it's very different to how Conte plays with a 3. You could play with a 4 and still look like us, and that's what we were. We were us. We played with a 4, and we still didn't play attacking. So it's not really about the formation. It's about who's in the positions and how you play. And unfortunately, we didn't play certain players in positions they should have played, and we didn't play very well. So we didn't move the ball around very well. But I'm kind of calmer about it now because I don't expect to see that again, because players are back, with the context of Mudryk being back fit for longer, Palmer not just joining now, he's had his training. I expect these players to play. If they don't play, then I guess I don't understand why they're here. Why did we bring them in if we're not going to use them? So yeah, I think
Chilwell playing left wing is crazy though. I don't think
no,
that's
it is.
Chilwell playing left wing is mad. It's mad. I'm gonna be honest with you. So just final topic, because I don't want to keep Matisse for too long, because I know he's probably. I think you do have a stream coming up at tomorrow noon time, right?
No, tomorrow I'm away. I'm going to see. I'm actually going to like a secret kind of. I'm going to DR for the 12 o'clock. Yeah, and then I'm going to like a secret like F1 event, which is going to be fun.
Okay.
Doing some content there. I know you don't like F1.
Yeah, F1 is not.
I don't bore you with the vroom content, but yeah, I've got a lot of that to do.
Husam, you didn't see Palmer's video? No, I didn't. Give me the context if I don't know it. I apologize as well if I didn't insinuate. I just didn't know what that comment meant. Yeah, I need to understand from my perspective. So I didn't even insinuate that you said anything bad. I just don't know what it meant.
Husam, I haven't seen it either. So yeah, I haven't seen it either.
I have no idea what you're talking about. Husam Rivalry aside, do you think Qatar are coming to United? Tomorrow, inshallah, 1 p.m. is the United review. Tune into that, my brother. Cheeky plug, Kareem, for you to come back to the channel. See the marketing? Husam marketing right there. Anyway, 700 people are in here. The views are going up. Make sure you're all liking. Make sure you're all subscribing. Habibis. Everyone who sent in a super chat got a massive shout out at the end. So please do slap the like button right now. Subscribe to This Is Football, because we're going to be talking Chelsea's future just quickly. Final segment of the show. Matisse, expectations for the season. Where do you see yourself headed into? Just kind of the future of Chelsea Football Club for like the near future this season.
It's still Champions League minimum. Where we finish and how comfortable we do that all depends on Poch and the team and how quickly they gel and how many injuries we stay away from as well, because we do have a big issue. I think both of our clubs perform very badly with injuries. I think we're always bottom 3 for most days missed in the squad in terms of players out. And that takes a toll, and it makes a big difference. If you can play with the same ish 11, 12, 13 players, it helps. Then if you can't, and you have to keep chopping and changing. So we do need a little bit of luck with that. But regardless of what happens, I'm always going to be aiming for Champions League, whether there's injuries or not, because we've only got 1 game a week. We have talented players. We have a talented coach. So, and there's 5 spaces for coefficient points. So you have to be minimum getting, if you can't get Champions League under those circumstances with no Europe, with less games and more days on the training pitch, then we might be having an issue in terms of getting back in at all long term, at least medium term, because the league's only getting more competitive. I would not be surprised to see West Ham finish 6th. I wouldn't be surprised if Newcastle qualified again, even though it will be difficult with Champions League. But if these teams
they won't.
I don't think they will either. But
remember, I was on the Newcastle hype early. Remember, I said before even the Champions League group, before even that happened, I said it.
But you know what the problem is? You can't afford to, and unfortunately we are going a little bit down the route, but we can't afford to, as fans of big clubs, be like, oh, but we'll get it next year. Oh, but we'll get it next year. There may not be a next year for you in terms of the top 10 has now Aston Villa, Newcastle, West Ham, and Brighton added to the top 6. I see that top 10 as very competitive. Anybody in that top 10 can take points off each other. Obviously, Man City are stronger. If they play to their capabilities, they'll sweep. But if they have a little off day or a little injury crisis, or these teams can beat them. These teams can really come to them and beat them. We saw Brentford go to the Etihad last season and do a madness. So, and that's before you get to your Palaces and your Brentfords and Nottingham Forest, who spent a whole heap on deadline day. My point is that the league is just too competitive to rest on your laurels. You need to be minimum qualifying for Champions League and building on that. You can't afford to have any more setbacks and dwindling in Europa League, and then next year oh, maybe we'll just get Europa League again. And next thing you know, 5 years has passed by. You ain't seen Champions League football. Look how long Arsenal were out the Champions League for. Arteta was kicking ball. Next thing you know, he's managing, and that's when they're next in champs. It's crazy, but time flies. So,
do you wish you were in Europa League, or do you prefer it without Europe?
No. I don't wish to be in Europa League because I really need us to be back in the Champions League.
No. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying if you had two scenarios, play once a week or Europa, what you choosing?
Once a week or Europa.
Yeah. So if you could basically change this team to play in the Europa or keep it one game a week, where do you say?
I think for the current circumstances of the team with a lot of new players and a lot of gelling to do, I'm fine with the 1 game a week because they need to train. These players can't shoot. They need to train. They're shooting. They need to train. They need to train. They need to really train, bro. Like, I need them to improve. And that will happen on the training pitches as much as it will happen on the pitch as well. What I don't need is these really cushiony, nice
Matisse
games.
Come up with and said these players can't shoot, and he carried on like.
Bro, it's true. Mad. Like it's true. The shooting is not good enough. Do you know what I mean? Like we miss a lot of chances. It's been happening for years. But in terms of like, I don't need us to get these little false, fake, packaged up, cushioned games in the Europa League group stage where we whoop them 6-0. And we go to Bosnia or we go to, I don't know, Kazakhstan and we batter a team 3 or 4, 5-0. And then we think, oh yeah, we're the shit. And then we come to the Premier League a little bit tired and jaded and we get our asses whooped by someone serious. I don't need that. What I need is us to train, rise to the level, and then actually perform with these fixtures that we have. So nah, not right now, bro. We've won the Europa League. We've done that. I need us back in the Champions League, man.
Sometimes geography does help you out though, like because with our group we got France, Belgium, and Austria. It's not even far trips or anything. Like, I hear where you're coming from though. I think maybe it would have given your squad a bit more experience, but it is what it is. The whole thing you said about getting Europe though, the Champions League. People keep saying top 4 still. It's actually top 5, you guys.
Yeah, it is.
So if you finish 5th, like use my club as an example. You see how horrible Liverpool were this season. The season that finished 2022-23 season. We finished 5th. We would have got Champions League under the new rules. So low-key, all you need to do is beat the teams that you're expected to home and away, and you make Champions League, basically. That's the reality. So it's not even like if you just beat bottom, I mean, you've already failed the 2 out of 10, to be fair. But if you beat the bottom 10 teams home and away, you get Champions League football. It's as simple as that. So
people think I'm joking, but we had 21 shots at the weekend, 2 on target. So when I tell you they can't shoot, it's based on data. It's not based on me running banter. It's based on that last game, 2 shots on target out of 21.
That's mad. That's actually mad.
That's wild, man. That's wild. How can Nottingham Forest have 1 more shot on target than us, and they had 7 shots to our 21? We had 3 times more shots than them, and we had 1 less shot on target. Their keeper had to make 2 saves. It's crazy, man.
Yusuf, I want to predict you to come 5th, but I'm actually gonna drop a video on my predictions and stuff. But if Matisse is saying you can't shoot, how can I put you 5th?
I'm hoping good coaching, and I'm hoping good coaching.
That's actually a mad comment when you just like unpack it. Man said we can't shoot. Like that is just.
Think about who are the shooters in our team that you look to and you be like, that guy's got a proper shot on him. I wouldn't say Sterling. He'll get goals, but he's not a shooter necessarily.
Shooter like that?
Mudryk, not a shooter yet. Madueke, not a shooter. Palmer, too early to call him a shooter.
I think Palmer could shoot.
Yeah, but he's not like who can I compare? He's not like a De Bruyne or a Salah or like a shooter. I'm talking about a shooter. Do you know what I mean? Not he could be a
You
shooter.
wouldn't say Jackson is a shooter? Jackson?
Too early, bro. Too early. He's shown good finishing in pre-season, but he's got to show it in the Prem first. You got to put the numbers down before I can call you a shooter. You know.
Is James shooter?
Injured. He actually can shoot decently. Yeah, he actually has a shot on him, but he's injured. So.
But also the fact that you mentioned that
he's a right back
there.
He's a right back.
Right back or right wing back. The fact that you mentioned him as a shooter is a problem to begin with.
Really.
Like, why think about that right back?
And Enzo can't shoot ? I mean, Do I think Enzo's going to end the Premier League season with double digits in goals? I don't think so. I don't think so.
Assists.
Enzo assists for sure if we take our shots, but that's where the problem lies. You see, like Enzo has to make that jump up in that responsibility of I'm going to put the ball in the back of the net. Like when a chance lines up outside the area, I'm going to hit it. I've seen him have a shot at the World Cup. I think he has the ability to do it, but he has to do it. He hasn't done it yet. So until he does it consistently, I can't call him a shooter yet.
You know what, Pearce? I'm not gonna argue with you. You know your club. I can't believe we actually have had a conversation about them shooting. That's mad. Big up to Karim.
You just don't see Chelsea players like ripping the net, bro. Like I'm talking, you know, bastard shots, like blasters, bro. Like
no, you
proper,
can't.
Proper elite level shooting, like tucked in the
That's why when the Vlahovic thing happened, you thought I was trolling, and I was trolling you with the troops thing and annoying you. But low key, he can shoot. Vlahovic. He can put the ball.
My problem is what else? And we know when you add just a finisher into a team and then you don't create enough chances for them, then there's an issue. I just need.
And you definitely can't put Vlahovic on a 5-year, 6-year.
Yeah, I wouldn't put him in and that's my problem. Because Vlahovic is young, we would have 100% minimum gave him a 7-year deal or 8-9-year deal. And there's not a single person on this planet that sees his injury record and can tell me that's a good idea. I would much rather wait for someone else that I'm 100% on. I'm not putting Vlahovic on the 8-9-year contract. There's no way.
Okay, fair enough. Big up to Karim who says, when's Ahwa? Sunday, my brother, inshallah. Listen, as always, schedules for these shows won't change. We'll be back for A-listers as well, inshallah, next week. So get ready, Habibi. Big up to you. Thanks so much, Karim, for the support. And I want to see you tomorrow, inshallah, on the 1 p.m. show as well, because we're covering your own club. Random, but people argue that MLS is on the same level as Saudi are insane, have no idea what they're talking about. Maybe 2 years ago, but not anymore. I agree. I think the Saudi League is definitely more difficult when you look at it, and I think the Saudi League definitely has more quality. I'm not saying that as being biased. You just look at some of the names. Like, I think the MLS, the biggest difference between Saudi and MLS, and I think Matisse has touched on this as well before, and multiple people, it's the fact that Saudi is not just getting people who are out their prime and it's like some 34-year-old finished guy. They're getting 29, 28, 30, 31-year-olds. They're getting actually young players too. They're getting the likes of Gabby Veiga, who my club and Matisse's club were linked with this summer. Like Gabby Veiga, bro, he was one of the most exciting midfielders that into this summer, is now playing in Al Ahly. So that tells you all you need to do. But anyway, look, we'll wrap it up here. An hour and 3 minutes. Sweet time. Big up to my guy Kyriakos. Big up to Ozan. Big up to Karim. Big up to Queen Nadra. Big up to Murad, Zlatan, Chelsea 101. Shukran lak, Habibi. Big up to my guy Waves. Big up to Abdullah. And big up to Anthony for the super chats. Big up to you guys. Big up to every single person who's shown us all the love and support. Make sure to come back tomorrow, inshallah, at 1 p.m. UK time. See, I'm listening to Matisse's advice. 1 p.m. UK time, inshallah, for the Manchester United review recap. So we're giving you that content. Tomorrow is the Man United and the Liverpool ones. So I've got Terry on for Man United and I've got James Redmond on for Liverpool. So it's going to be one hell of a day. Two biggest rivals in the same day. Matisse, my brother, thank you so much for joining me, despite us bottling the thing at the introduction. Where can the people find you?
You know, we gave it our best shot. It's my bad. I made a joke. But yeah, listen, MAH 3 letters on YouTube. You can find it there. We did a stream earlier. We can eat Chelsea's up, and there'll probably be another piece of content there tomorrow as well, dropping a little video. And yeah, man, that's it. Just subscribe to the channel there, and you'll see all the content. Thanks for having me, brother. Pleasure.
And if you can't find the channel for some God knows what reason, go to the description and the channel is there. And by the way, flash news, I'm back on Instagram, Habibis, at the Don Husam 6, same one. If anyone DMs me abuse, I'm going to ignore them this time. I'll not tell anyone. I'm going to punch them in the face and get suspended again. So I'm not losing another Instagram account. So I'm back on Instagram at the Don Husam 6. If you want to go follow me on Twitter. And in the description as well is Matisse's channel. If you, for some reason, cannot find Matisse's channel because you're living under a rock, all you have to do is click the thing and it would take you straight to Matisse's channel and hit subscribe because it's worth it. Trust me. I'll tell you this as a colleague. Not a fan, Flawless. You bozo. So, big up to you guys. Make sure to go subscribe to Matisse's channel. Big up everyone who sent in super chat. Big up everyone who liked. Big up everyone who subscribed. Make sure you come back tomorrow, inshallah, at 1. And we'll see you guys later. Peace out.